it's just a buzzword. You know, we've had AI since 1990, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost, but it's just evolved over time into
Yeah.
something more efficient, more faster. And Ben went over this last time too. So, you know, whenever you build something, it's all dependent on your execution to execute your plan. And if you can't find your idea out there, it's not that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It guaranteedly already existed. It's just the person before you failed. Hey guys, what's up? It's the EMP Podcast, where entrepreneurship, mindset, and purpose. Fuck, I haven't done this intro in a while. But alright, so this is our guest, Sanjay.
Hi.
It's a random guy I met at a random event.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Sanjay, guys. I don't even know what he does.
Yeah.
We just about to put Sanjay in the hot seat.
I was like, hey, he wants to come down and fucking visit me anyway, so he can come on the podcast.
So, like he said, PJ, this is the EMP podcast where we talk about entrepreneurship, mindset, and purpose. Where hustle meets strategy. Sometimes we bridge the gaps between different generations. Obviously, I'm the senior citizen.
Senior citizen, my ass.
Yeah. I'm still a young buck, but I do have you guys at least by 15 years. Regardless of that, you know, what we see in entrepreneurship, mindsets, and purposes, there's all walks of life. So when it comes to that, you know, you can't hear?
Not through the mic, at least.
Can you not hear?
Oh, I can hear you in here, but like not through the mic.
Not through that mic?
Can you hear now?
No.
Now?
Can you hear him?
I can hear you.
That might
can
be
hear me.
the right microphone.
Then
See. Let me see.
Switch it and see.
Test. Can you hear me?
Can you? Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
All right, it works.
That's the right one?
Yep. But this is too tight. Hold on. There we go.
Good enough. It
Cool,
works. It works. All right, we good.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so again, my name's Sanjay. I work as a software engineer. I've been in the field for like 4 years now. I've worked at like Meta, Google, Bosch, and I've been just doing software engineering and also like Gen AI integration for a lot of big corporations.
Now he's at Verizon.
Yeah, now I work at Verizon here in Dallas.
Why'd you say it like that? No,
Yeah.
I work at Verizon.
Is that what's that supposed to mean?
Is there something wrong with him working at Verizon?
No. It doesn't mean nothing. I was just saying, he's at Verizon.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
How has your experience been with going down that stream of the Meta, the Facebook, Google, all that?
well, I think it was interesting. I know like at first it might seem like you're kind of stuck in that corporate rat race or whatever, but like over time you realize the products you're working on are kind of cool. So, and like how it impacts people, so you kind of like it.
That was
eventually.
your first job?
Okay, so my first jobs were like internships at startups.
Okay.
So that allowed me to get experience to then later work at these companies. So
What's the timeline look like?
was the timeline? Let's say I
Because
turned.
I know you didn't go to college, so what's the timeline look like?
Sure. Well, I do have a degree, but I didn't go to like in-person college.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. I know. I'm just clarifying.
You have a specialized skill set or certification, something
Yeah.
to, validate your skill set.
Yeah. So basically when I turned 18, I just got like, I worked at like a nearby tutoring center first. And that was like just teaching kids to code. Like I think they did, it's kind of like daycare. Parents would take their kids, put them here, and then we teach them like, Scratch or something similar to that. And later I was able to get like an internship at this small company. They make like video games. So I helped them make like a fishing video game using Unity and Unreal Engine, if you've heard of those.
Okay.
Then later I got another internship at this startup in San Francisco. It's called MealMe AI. And basically they're like a food delivery aggregation system. They like take Grubhub, DoorDash, and put them all into one app so you can see all the food near you. And that was kind of like my first proper, I think, software engineering job, and also got me like into the entrepreneurship game because I saw how they had to deal with investors, they had to deal with other clients, customers, obviously people using the app, how they did like, promotion through TikTok. And basically we like lived at a penthouse and worked there in like the heart downtown of San Francisco, like nonstop. There was like no work-life balance whatsoever.
Sounds like what's about to happen to me in about 3 months.
Yeah. No, that's already you, I think.
That is older. Okay, that's fair. I am. Okay, to be fair, I don't really. Yeah, I don't have a work-life balance. Like I literally told him last week, hey, I would go to Dallas with you, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one was family-wise, but
Yeah.
like I literally work like fucking hours and hours on day. Now that's kind of what you got to do in the beginning,
True.
Like I work a lot.
So you said your entrepreneurial journey. So you're telling me that this just started clicking.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't back when you were younger.
Uh-huh.
Did you have any ambitions or any aspirations on starting a business or getting your hustle on or grinding or something to get some allowance or anything like that?
Well,
because you're saying, I started looking at this, and this is where like your entrepreneurial journey started, or some ideas started to, pop up in your head that you wanted to basically like run your own business.
Yeah, like when I was like super young, obviously the reason I even got into coding in general, computer science, was I wanted to make video games and also make apps. So I remember when I was super young, I published a bunch of little small apps, like some messaging apps or some video recording organization apps to the Play Store, which I think are taken down now. Obviously, I haven't updated it.
But you always had that creativity.
Yeah, exactly. So I've always wanted to like publish something and like get people to use it. And although like my app wasn't used by many people, when I worked at MealMe, that was an app that was used by thousands of people. So I could see like orders coming in, even hundreds of thousands.
And that's the app that you created.
No, I didn't create that. That was the one. That was the internship I was talking about.
Oh, okay. But you was in the process of helping that company create that. Though.
Exactly.
You saw all the back end.
Yeah. So like because it was a startup, I was able to help like build a lot of the core components of the app from start to finish, like the back end and the front end. So although I haven't created an app myself, like from start to finish on my own, at least not after like other than when I was really young, those 2 apps I made for fun. Other than that, I haven't published an app like on my own, but I was able to help other startups like publish their apps. Like basically build the app for them and get paid for it and publish it. So that's kind of MealMe was my first entry into understanding the startup world. Like because when I was before like I graduated high school, I didn't know what VCs were. I didn't know any of this stuff. And then from there, after MealMe, I got into another internship at a company. It was called Bubble. I think they're called Partiful now. I think Partiful everyone uses. So. But it was called Bubble back then, and I actually helped make a lot of the core components, the front end and back end for Bubble. It was a party planning app, but made by 2 students in Georgia Tech, I think.
Yeah.
And I was doing the internship remotely though, and I only realized that Bubble became Partiful is because someone sent me a Partiful link once, and I logged in with my number, and then I got a Sanjay Firebase test. And if you know what Firebase is, it's like the Google backend, right? So I logged into Partiful recently, like a few months ago, using a number for an event. And then it was my Firebase test was there. Like that was the account name. I was like, wait a minute, I made the backend for this app. And I just realized after I left that company, I just grew like crazy, I guess.
It's in a couple million. That's the app that we used to figure out if there was any events on that Saturday.
Exactly.
So, because that's the app that you told me to get.
Partiful?
Yeah, that was the one you told me to get.
Oh, it was a link though. No, there was another app I told you to get. That was like some app
I have Partiful too.
I know. A lot of us have Partiful.
You said that you did that after your internship time with the second,
the MealMe, the food app.
You're talking about this one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that Bubble or now known as Partiful. I did that right after MailMe for a couple months. So I also helped that like just build the core components of the app, and now I guess it grew after I left. So.
And then, so what did you do after that? Because you do have some kind of business experience, right?
Yeah. So right after Bubble, I did get a job on contract with Google, based in Austin, Texas. That was my first time I came to Texas.
So that you was on contract. Where you originally from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. That's a
Okay.
good. I should have mentioned that before.
It's all good.
Born and
You know,
raised.
we gonna find out what's up. You know.
Yeah, I guess I forgot to mention
So
how I moved.
So
those stuff.
is that basically how you moved to Texas from the job with Google?
You were in San Fran before that, right?
Yeah, I was in San Francisco so the timeline is kind of like 2022.
Yeah.
Or 2020, end of 2021, I moved to SF for that internship. And then in April of 2022, I came to Austin for the kind of job on contract with Google here.
Nice.
But alongside that, because I was in San Francisco, the area where there's so many innovative AI entrepreneurs,
For sure.
I've made so many contacts there, and eventually someone I ran into at a WeWork there, I guess you know what WeWork is. He was like, although I have a startup, although I can't pay you, I can give you a good equity. So it's like a founding engineer role, for a side job. So alongside my job on contract with Google, I was remotely working on this company called Playfair Technologies.
Okay.
I think they've recently raised a little bit of money, but basically they're like a financial scraper app. So basically they'll analyze tweets and Reddit threads and X posts and say what stocks or crypto is trending, and that app will show you what's the sentiment on social media. So alongside my job at Google, I worked on that startup as well from start, trying to build the app and also a little bit of marketing for them as well.
So
But eventually I left. Yeah.
You left. So there was nothing that came out of that, or?
Yeah, I think I just felt like it was a huge time commitment.
Yeah, make sure talking to them and talking to us or whatever and stuff like that, they can see your face.
True. But yeah, after April 2022, I joined at contract at Google, and then I left, or we were laid off around May of the following year in 2023. So right after that, I got a data annotation role for Scale AI, just looking at computer science related prompts, and I was also working on Playfair alongside that as well. Eventually, I just thought, the juice, it just wasn't worth it. Trying to continue with the app. I didn't really see it going anywhere. So I didn't think it was a good use of my time. So I eventually left that in September 2023, but still hold some equity in Playfair Tech, and they're doing well now, I think. So yeah, that's that.
So theoretically, you could go back.
I don't know if he wants me back because I left halfway. So
why'd you leave then? Whatever perspective information you can give. I mean, what was the main thing? You don't have to get into the nitty gritty, but
Yeah, of course. I just didn't think it would fit with my work-life balance. I think that alongside another job, to earn money properly and to have a living, it wasn't worth it. I don't know if they're they raised only a little bit of money. I don't think they're still like huge or anything. But at that time I couldn't do it alongside my other job.
What was the name of the company?
Playfair Technologies.
So you have equity in that one, right?
Yes.
So if they do sell, how much percentage do you have?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that online. Don't say that right now. Well, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it after this. Yeah, for sure.
That's
equity is always good at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So you were contract with this business or an employee?
For Playfair?
Yeah, Playfair.
No, I was a founding engineer. It was a founding engineer role.
Okay.
But yeah.
So that was 2023, 2024. What happened last year?
Yeah, so 2024, I got a job in Singapore, a contract job with Bosch, the company that makes kitchen appliances and car parts and things like that. So I think that was my first role where Gen AI was used extensively, in corporate world. So that's when I was able to get a chance to see how large companies such as Bosch themselves are integrating Gen AI in their workflow. So that's kind of what I did there. A lot of new tech stacks I was able to learn, and just how companies are happened to use it.
So the word around town is you did have your own business,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like you've had jobs and steady paychecks as well.
Yeah.
Let's get into that entrepreneur side, like about your business
Mm-hmm.
experience. How did that go? What did you start and what did you do? And tell me about that.
Yeah, there is a startup I tried creating alongside my time at Bosch because although 9 to 5 gets paycheck, everyone needs like purpose, so we're always on the
Yeah.
grind to build something. So I think like July of last year, I tried my own startup. It was it was based on what I was doing at Bosch, somewhat or not exactly, but Bosch gave me the inspiration. Although I can't reveal what I worked on at Bosch, I could say that this startup was pertaining to analyzing documents like PDFs, because back then ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, they could not analyze documents that well. You can upload a document, and even now ChatGPT, all it does is it just parses out the text, and it doesn't actually understand the images in that PDF, right? So it just like whatever you can do, Control A, Control C on a PDF, that's all ChatGPT knows. It just converts it to text and then interprets the text as is. So my startup was designed to and not only analyze more complex PDFs with images by like combining computer vision and simple LLM text generation, but also be able to visualize PDFs in a way that's not just summaries, but like flowcharts and graphs. So large quantities of data from documents can be visualized as flowcharts, infographics, and things like that using AI. So I tried that for a year, and it eventually realized like it wasn't financially stable or financially sustainable for me to continue. But I definitely learned a lot in that process and made a lot of connections, and like at least kind of felt it felt good that I at least tried something and I'm not just like doing nothing with my life. So I'm glad it happened though eventually.
So what happened after Bosch?
What happened after Bosch? Okay, so around February of this year, I got a job on contract with Meta back in Austin here. So I came from Singapore, flew right here to Austin, Texas, and yeah, I was able to work at Meta, and that was also a cool experience. Basically, like I worked on Gen AI tools that Mark Zuckerberg wants us to make, and I can reveal what is public info. I can say that like, Meta has a lot of cool things coming up. They got like Instagram AI chats. They're making like AI companions that people can use. So let's just say that somewhere related to those realms is where I worked in helping those Gen AI models that Mark Zuckerberg wants us to chat with be better. And that's kind of what I did for around 6 months, from March to August of this year. And now I work at Verizon here in Dallas, Texas. So yeah.
So you're not doing your business anymore though, right?
No, not anymore.
What are the chances you pick that back up now that you're in a you're financially stable position? Because we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, so now it's more of a proper job I have, not like a 6-month contract or 1 year. So I think I'm good to go to join back into the entrepreneurship world.
Right.
Whether I go back to that particular business, I don't know, because there's so many AI tools that can now do visualizations for you. And I also think GPT-5 can analyze PDFs better. So my old idea is kind of redundant now. So like I think if you look up AI infographics generator, it exists. Back then it wasn't like huge. So I might try something new based on all my experiences working at startups and large corporations. But that particular idea, I'm not sure if I would go back on that.
The innovation and the ideation stage of just and the phase of technology, things are moving so rapidly that an idea today could be redundant tomorrow. My
Exactly.
goodness.
You can't catch up. Like if someone has an idea, there's probably like 10 different websites that already do the same thing at this point. AI video generation. If Google comes with AI video generation, within a week, there's like 10 different Chinese companies doing the same thing. There's 10 different random websites that already have video generation coming up. And
so here's the thing on that part, right? So like with the idea I'm working on, a little bit, and a little bit too, but not ready to share publicly yet, but because we're still building. But and to the people there, I do speak with customers. Don't worry. I am not stupid. I'm not just building in a little room for like 5 years on end. But you know, if you can find an idea and you Google it and you ChatGPT it, if you can't find a successful startup that looks close to what you want to do, there's a good chance someone tried it and they failed, right? So it's not that the person that did the startup failed, it's their execution that failed. So if you can fix your execution and launch it properly, it will succeed, but your execution has to be on point.
Yeah.
So whenever, you're launching something, like for me, I'll give a little teaser, but for me, I work mainly with founders, right? Founders are part of my client. I won't say the main clientele, but you know what they are. But founders are a part of my clientele list. And for that, for my platform to work, I need mass quantities of founders, right? So like, because AI is obviously included into it, but AI isn't the main component. It's a part of it, but it's not the main one because AI is misrepresented nowadays. It's like, oh, I have an AI startup. It's just a buzzword. We've had AI since 1990, right? Almost. But it's just evolved over time into something more efficient, more faster. And Ben went over this last time too. So, whenever you build something, it's all dependent on your execution to execute your plan. And if you can't find your idea out there, it's not that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It guaranteedly already existed. It's just the person before you failed. So if you fix that, then you're good.
Yeah, 100%. I think most of entrepreneurs, even a tech startup, you don't have to be a tech genius to make a tech startup. It's really about, you can always hire someone to do the tech for you. It's always,
Hello
it's
here.
Yep. That's what you do.
That is what I'm doing.
I know.
I have an AI architect and a full stack developer working for me.
Yeah, it's like take the nerds and you need to package it in a way that the masses can understand. And like you need to find a way to market it like in the right way. That's what Apple did. Like for example, Microsoft already, like there was Linux computers that were preceded Mac. Computing systems weren't unique, but like Apple made it so sleek and unique and like appealing to average people, and their marketing was on point because operating systems existed for a long time. What did Steve Jobs do? Like, or even the iPhone, right? Smartphones, touchscreen phones existed, but they weren't like marketed right, or they weren't like packaged right.
So I will say marketing is a large point in how if a startup succeeds or not, because marketing is what leads to clientele or clients or money, right? So that's another thing, right? That's founders fail with, that you don't market it right? So there's so many points of market, but everyone's like, oh, I need to go fundraise money immediately.
Yeah.
Right. And did you do that or no?
Like trying to reach to client. Yeah, I tried both, right? I tried to get clients on board. Even if I actually got clients on board, like 3 clients, but it's still hard to make it profitable. And
yeah, it's very difficult.
Like think about it like this: if you can get 3 people to pay you $50 a month or $100 a month, which is still very hard to do anyways, your expenses are still going to be like, you might need to hire one intern. That's going to cost $1,000 a month. Boom, you're out.
Or you just slave them.
So like one employee exceeds like 3 of the clients you just got. So it's like, it's so hard to keep any business profitable in that, unless you get so many clients that it can outperform that.
So you're going on current standards of hiring a U.S. based intern.
Sure.
Right. So like if you were to go hire a Indian based intern, it would cost me literally $300.
Trust me, I did that too. Even then, the expenses would still exceed if you want a good person at least.
Well, so yeah, one good person. Like my 2 current clients, I'm overpaying them by a little bit, so they came to me. I get charged $17.50 a month. My developer, that's 2 people. I have a senior AI architect and a senior full stack developer. That's costing me almost $1,800 a month. Right? Yeah. Now, I'm using my college fund, I assume, so I have enough months to build out a product, but that not everyone has that capacity to use funding that it's supposed to be used for something else. So how did you get funding? I know you're working jobs, but like let's talk about the 9 to 5. Is the hate really required?
I don't think so. I think 9 to 5s are kind of underrated. Like, I don't know why a lot of people hate on it, but if it can give you a stable paycheck and it can get you resume experience and you can your salary can grow so fast. I always think, what is the most stable way to get someone to 10K a month? Doing that with a startup or a business is so hard. Imagine you had a coffee shop. How many $5 coffees do you have to sell to get $10,000 a month in profit after expenses?
You have to sell
so
over
much.
like 6,000 copies.
Yeah. You go to a 9 to 5, attend a couple of meetings, maybe write a few emails, and you get thousands a month. Like it's one of the fastest and easiest ways to get your foot off the ground.
We won't go into exacts of how much he makes.
Yeah. I didn't mention it.
No. I'm not going into exacts because I know, but I think he says he works 30 to 40 hours a week, something like that.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
And
if he was putting 30 to 40 hours into his business, he would not be making the income that he would be making at the Verizon.
Well,
Guaranteed.
so at Verizon he makes blank, right?
Sure,
Right.
yeah.
He makes blank a
We're
month.
not gonna talk
we
about
don't
that.
talk finances on here.
Sure.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
But I know he doesn't. He'll know afterwards.
Yeah.
Or
I'm sure I know.
You
but,
probably know.
But
Well,
I'm not going to disclose anything.
No, we
Sure,
don't.
sure.
We don't do that.
Right,
But
right.
you
We don't-
make
yeah.
enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? You make enough to go off and do stupid shit like we've been doing.
Yeah.
Now I have a credit card, so it doesn't really matter. But don't worry, I know you got to pay off the credit card. But what's it called? Do you think you make enough to, put aside some money to start your own startup now? Because now you're fully stable, you've got a full-time job now, and it's not like contractual where, contract over? Oh, well, no more job for you, no more money.
Fair. Okay, first of all, in this market, nothing is certain. Tech, especially private tech industry, I could just be laid off in a year. Second, I do have enough to maybe invest in back-end resources, front-end resources. Like if I want Firebase or Google Cloud Platform, buy something there. I got enough money to do that. To hire someone else to do work for me or work with me, I definitely could not do that. But I do think it gives the 9 to 5 gives stability enough that I could, after those 40 hours are done in a week, I have the freedom to do whatever I want, and I can now pursue any passion that I want and not really have to worry about money to a degree. And that's kind of what I think.
What was the biggest challenge and what was the biggest lesson you learned when you was running your own business last year?
Yeah, the one thing I learned is always try to think of, would I myself use it? We always encounter random AI apps or some app on the App Store. We download so many and we delete them later because we know I'm not using this. Or there might be some startups like a AI screen prompter. So we use it once and then I don't want to use. You uninstall the app. Would this be something that you actually keep on your phone? I think just look at your own phone and look at the apps on your phone. Right. What have you deleted before? What have you? What do you keep? And just actually ask yourself with no BS filter, would I keep this app on my phone? And that's probably the best way to think whether your startup is going to, or any product that you're creating is going to be successful. The other thing is I see in the startup world too much is people are chasing VC checks more than actual customers. That is a huge mistake because the VC checks in the end, they still want you to get customers. This notion of just get investor money and then try to then figure out how to make actual money is not going to get you anywhere.
And I will say, especially VC checks, I hope people realize VC check comes with governance. A VC check, unless you're wanted by 50 VCs or something like that, or you're very wanted, you get governance on your on the check. Say Anderson, AZ16 gives you a check for $100,000. There's governance included on that check. So that means they get a board seat, which also means, say you want to go get, let's hire you. AZ16 can say no and you don't have a choice. You can't hire them. So whenever you get a VC check or an angel check, if it comes with governance, you're pretty much screwed. because that means they can control every aspect of your business, and you have no choice. In fact, they could tell you to sell the company, and you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
So like that's why I haven't raised yet, right? Because I could go get money real quick. That's not the problem. I know enough investors that I work with, because I bring capital to startups. I have enough relations to go get money very easily, right? Like I could call up my guy and ask for like, hey, I need $500,000. He's gonna ask for 10%, right? Because he knows me. That's not what I would actually get if I went to a VC. But my guy is an angel, so he'd give me that money because of how many companies he's invested in for me. Together, we've invested in 7 companies, right? So that's the rate I would get simply because we're friends, and he knows what I'm capable of. But that comes with no governance. But if I went to a VC, asked for that same thing, they're gonna get, okay, $500K for 20% equity, and we want governance. So I have no control over my company after that.
Yeah.
So with what you learned, and because I think now that you have a steady job, you're able to get some things situated for yourself, being financially stable and all that, get some savings and some investing and stuff like that. Now, when you go back out to do business again, how are you going to do it different, and what mindset are you going to take with that?
Wow, that's a good question. I think like I'd probably nail marketing and product market fit before building the product.
Okay.
Because if you spend so much time, because I just left to code. I'm not a huge fan of trying to post on Instagram and things. I do it if I need to, but I don't like doing it that much. However, if you just code and build your product, but then you realize like it has no use and no one wants it, everything you worked on is kind of useless. And a lot of startups do this. They try to get the marketing branding first, and then they just rapid fire. Once they get some traction for their Instagram page or LinkedIn page, then they like kind of build the product faster. I'm not saying I would do that, but I would try to test the waters first to see how people like it, even the idea, before I make the product completely on my own.
I will say, there's like a couple steps to building a startup, the right way, and that's a lot of the problems I see nowadays. A lot of people, step 1, get VC money.
Yeah.
Step 2, make the product. Then I'm like, VC money is like step 7, right? So step 1 is figuring out, okay, what's the problem, right? And honestly, the easiest way for that is go on Reddit. Literally just go on Reddit and look up people, like literally just search up what are people having problems with, and you get a whole smackdoodle of problems. And go figure one out that has, so many problems, and start engaging with those people, because they are real people that are on that side of things. And once you got that, and you go figure out, okay, what's the set problem? Okay, you have a set problem? Let's talk with all these people. What are the features they want? People will tell you on Reddit. And then you have talked to so many people that, want this specific thing. And then, because on Reddit, you can just link r/Reddit to this thing. You can just start sending people to that specific, thread. And then people just start commenting and things like that because they need it, right? And then you go build a product. Because now you have, that at least some people want it. If that some people want it, then at least you're going to have at least those people to start with to bring on the platform for free. And then you can go find more, and then you can start marketing and branding and then build the product.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
And then after all of that, then you raise money.
Yep.
So you have a 9 to 5, you have a structured set of time that you're giving to someone else, which is totally fine. What's your job description over there at Verizon, and what problem are you solving?
Yeah, my title is like Gen AI engineer.
Okay.
I don't know like to what extent. What I can say is like we help integrate AI into Verizon systems, like within their internal systems, Copilot and things like that. So yeah.
Do you ever fear that title will be
non-existent in
non-existent
3 months?
Non-existent with AI, basically pushing you out of,
Actually, no. And the more I work with AI on code specifically, I am so secure in my job that it's not going away. because
So AI cannot duplicate what you do.
not much. I can do things a bit faster, of course. So maybe like if there's 10 engineers, they might reduce it to 7 or 6. But they're not. Software engineers are not going away because let's think about AI. You ask it to make an
You're
image.
just like a plumber or electrician. That's a field that's not
Oh,
going
yeah.
to be going away because
It won't go away
Yeah.
for at least like
A
if you go
very
look-
long
a
time.
very long. It's not. I don't think it'll even be replaced because, you really you would have to go make a machine to act like a human and think like one.
Yeah.
And if that happens, well, shit, we're in Terminator now.
Well, first off, AI is computer science. So if you know computer science, you are behind the AI. So that's one thing.
Right.
You are secure in your job because if AI takes everything, but I'm the one making the AI, so we're good. But the second thing is, think about let's say, have you ever made videos using Google VO or like those? Have you seen those funny videos?
I've seen those.
Yeah. Do you know like sometimes they might, if it's making an image of a hand, it'll make like 7 fingers, or it does like hallucinations in the way it makes images and videos. Like have you seen
No,
like
I haven't seen that personally, but
yeah.
yeah.
So
I hear that happens.
we all know AI can mess things up, but now when it's art, like an image or a video, it's funny and we can just look at it and then refine it if we want. However, imagine trusting AI with core code that handles payments and app outages and backend.
I'll say that it's not possible, right? So like you can vibe code. Like everyone's like, oh, vibe code an app, and I'm like, guys, it's not that simple as
No,
you
it's not.
think, right? Like because I code a little bit, so I know, but you can't just go, oh, here's a ChatGPT prompt, put it into a vibe code, and go do it. There is only the one main software that I think could be able to do that is something called Ruru Commander, but that's like you have to literally like that's a manual thing you need to like code and like you need to have storage and hard drives and all that. You need to literally put in libraries after libraries after libraries, and then like I think it took my friend like 2.5 months to set it up properly. And then after that, then it could do like a little bit more, it could maybe get up to 30, 40,000 lines of code,
Yeah.
right? But after 30, 40,000 lines of code, it couldn't compute any further. And even then, the 30, 40,000 lines of code, they needed to hire someone to fix the code.
Yeah.
So like now there's titles like vibe coding cleanup services or specialist. So, just change the goddamn role. It's the same role, just change it up, and now you have a job.
Exactly.
What's the best piece of advice you received being here on this planet?
On this, general life question, huh?
Yeah, generalized question.
Best advice. I would say balance dreams and stability as one. I feel like when we're very young, people are always like, you can be anything you want, and I still believe that. That's why I'm still trying to do entrepreneurship and chase my dreams. Yeah, I still am young, to be honest. When I was even younger, people were like, you could be anything you want, a rock star, an actor, a musician. And then as you grow older, people are like, hey, yo, chase stability. But I say both sides of the coin are depressing if you go too far. If you're so delusional and like never chase stability, that's going to be depressing. But if you you're very young, you're not old yet, okay? Chill out.
Look, I have money, so I'm stable.
Yeah.
So I can be delusional all I want. I have enough money to cover it.
But if you live the stable NPC 9 to 5, just that for your entire life as well, that's depressing in its own way. You don't have any life experiences. Your brain has no novelty. You just get depressed. And I know so many 9 to 5 people are depressed. So I'd say balance both delusion and stability, and just be like, try to get some stability, but also try to chase your dream. Just keep that in mind. That's kind of what I think.
It's pretty cool. That's his perspective. Your perspective is a little bit different. And then you're younger than him.
I am younger than him. That's fair. He's 4 years older, right? But you're 2 decades older, right?
Which is fine. I mean, I like learning from any age.
I mean, here's the thing, right? As long as you're stable, you can go big, you can go dream wild. Now, not everyone has parents that are willing to support you with your wild, crazy dreams, right? So if you do have parents, go say I love you, because that is very, that's not very common. Like yesterday, my dad.
Are your parents gonna watch this, bro?
Probably. Probably. But what's it called? Yesterday, my dad sat me down in front of one of my uncles. He's a businessman. He lives in India. But he was like, are you sure this is the business that you want to do? Because you've hopped around. And I'm like, yes. Because it cost almost, $2,000 for 2 devs. Right?
PJ the grasshopper, huh?
I mean, I was grasshopping pretty much. Look, you saw.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, but my dad was like, "Are you sure you're gonna stay in this course? Because the moment you spend the $2,000, it's gone and it's not coming back."
Course, as in
like the $2,000 on
going on a journey.
Sure.
Course.
Yeah, like are you gonna
course of life?
Like, are you gonna continue this business for like the rest of your life or whatever? Right? Because we're spending $2,000 on software devs. The moment you do that, that's it. There's no that, because I'm not giving them equity, right? So I can't, and even if I gave them equity, it would be vested and all that. They didn't wait. Did they not vest equity for you?
For what? What are you talking about?
For the Playfair Technologies.
Vest doesn't. I have it. I just got it every month. It's not like every quarter. I mean.
Oh, I was like, they didn't vest it. Oh no.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't understand.
I'll tell you after.
Okay, sure.
But what's it called? I'm paying them cash, so I still own 100% equity in the company. He's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because the moment we start, there's no stopping." And he's like, "You have this many months until money runs out. I'll be exact later on, but you have this many months." And I'm like, "Yes, I am very serious, right?" So, when you have parents that support you and are willing to allow you to ruin your college savings, I would, and then, I still live at home. I still use, my dad's credit card and my credit card, and he pays for all of it. So, I'm grateful, but not everyone has the capability and stability to do that. So I can go dream.
So what do you see, or where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
In the next 3 to 5 years, well, I hope to be part of something like a bit more innovative and varied. I hope that right now I've been hopping a lot and I've loved the journey, but I hope that I don't get too comfortable where I am and just stays like with the normal pace of life. And I'm not necessarily just talking about like this job or a startup or anything, but just my life.
Complacent or comfortable in general.
Yeah, like I feel like I should have a more adventure life. So I look back. So in 5 years, I should look back and be like, these are the things I've done. These are the places I've been. These are the people I've met. And be like, would my 8-year-old self be proud of these 5 years? Like, have I spent it well? That's kind of the only thing I'm looking at. I don't really care about trying to necessarily just grow a particular business. I want to have this much money in 5 years. Not necessarily. I just want a good life in 5 years.
Speak to that 8-year-old child. What would you tell if they had dreams and aspirations and stuff? What would you tell that 8-year-old?
I would tell him I'm doing my best to make you proud. I'm trying to live up to that fantasy, but I'm also trying to make sure that like we have some stability as well. And so I would tell him I'm still doing it. I have not given up. That's what I'd tell him. We'll get there one day.
So nice. What would we have ranges from, I think, like the ages young as 12 that watched the videos to I think the oldest I saw was like 68 or something on YouTube.
Yeah,
there's a few upper.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the last time I checked YouTube. Studio.
But for sure.
If you had to tell your the younger or older self, what's the kind of advice you would give that flows through the same flow of time, whether you're young or you're old?
Sure. Well, first of all, the biggest thing in life, regardless of what influencers or someone tells you, is the people that you meet and like what you see with your two own eyes every day, the experience. That's all that matters in the end, because you could get sued one day and lose all your money, or I don't know, anything could happen. Money is not everything, although you should be chasing it. The second thing is, and if you do want to succeed with whatever field that you're passionate about, make sure that like the market is not saturated. Like actually just analyze like is there something in this field that would allow me to have an advantage over others? Sometimes it could be a particular citizenship, being a particular race or gender obviously gets you into certain quotas. Having a particular
DEI.
Yep. Hey, if it works for you, make use of it. Or having a particular degree, make sure whatever field you're trying to succeed in is not oversaturated. And I don't know if like the 12-year-olds watching this, like I like chase your dreams for sure, like 100%. Like that, having no dreams, chasing just stability is also depressing. You need to have a purpose in your life. But like, yeah, just make sure whatever you're trying to work on is somewhat niche because the world is very, very competitive. There's like billions of people. You don't want to do the same thing that billions of people are doing.
Repeat that. You said delusion and
Stability.
and stability meet in the middle.
Yeah, well, actually, I kind of said
create
dreams.
The balance.
Dreams and stability. I don't like. I think the word delusion is a bit harsh.
Well,
but
but it is a delusion.
Dreams, balance chasing your dreams and stability just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Find the middle grounds.
Yeah, you need both for sure in life. Yeah.
I don't have either.
You have no. You don't. What do you mean? You do have one at least.
I mean, I have a dream. Obviously, you know it.
Yeah, I know.
But like, stability's out of the question for now.
You're so young, bro, dude. I was working like $12 an hour when I was that age. Like, it doesn't matter.
I make zero. I work 140
He has
hours
his
a
whole
week.
life ahead of him. What is one word that would sum you up?
Ooh.
What word would you use?
Wait. Whoa, chill.
Look, I said it so quiet so the mic can hear it, but you know what I meant.
Man, I don't know. I honestly like. I want to say, just adventurous. That's I always try to like just find side quests in my life wherever possible. Go on that one random trip or do this random thing.
What road is this again? Let's go.
So one thing me and you have in common is curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
So you're adventurous. I understand that. And then another question, or my last question I'll ask you. I don't know if PJ has any more questions, but when you're at the end of the road, what do you want to be remembered as? Like, what is your legacy and impact? What do you want to contribute to this world?
Well, I feel like I want to like teach and inspire the youth in the right direction. That's kind of what I want to be like doing long term, and also be remembered for that. I helped a lot of younger people, and I like try to find the right path in their life, not just follow what like influencers are saying, or not just follow what their teachers are saying, but like always try to help them find balance with the advice they get in life. Like, you don't have to take it from me. I just want to be remembered as someone who helped the youth, to answer your question. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't got nothing.
I didn't know. I was.
I'm gonna hassle him after this anyway.
I was just picking his brains and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have information where people can connect to you on LinkedIn or anything?
Yeah.
Or any social media platforms we can include your information just in case people just want to connect with you.
Yeah. My Instagram is Jayson_trips, JAYSON_trips, and my LinkedIn is my full name, which I guess I'll give later to the. Yeah, I'll just say it here. My name's Sanjay Ravigopal.
Okay.
Bruh.
All right, we'll put the spelling in there, but we want to thank you. It's Sanjay.
Sanjay, yes.
Sanjay, we want to thank you for the EMP. Being on our EMP podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship, mindset, and purpose.